Hi students, very good morning. Today in this session we are going to learn with respect to electrolytic conductance. Electrolytic conductance. What is meant by conductance? Accepting the flow of something. It may be electrons, it may be ions. Okay, accepting the flow of something, it is called as that something is nothing but maybe electrons in terms of metallic conductors, ions in terms of electrolytic conductors. So based on the conductance, we shall categorize this into two types. One is metallic conductance, okay, and the other is the same electrolytic conductance. Electrolytic conductance. Okay. Metallic conductance. See, metallic conductance means generally our wires, copper wires. So in that, by using copper wires, we will be getting electricity, right? Means it is accepting what? The copper wire is accepting the movement of the electrons. Means the flow of the electrons is accepted by the copper wire. So current is conducted, or conductance we are getting by flow of electrons. So in metallic conductance, we can say conductance is due to flow of electrons. Suppose I want electrolytic conductance. Electrolytic conductance means yesterday we have discussed, like taking a beaker, okay, having ions. You will be having this pattern, right? You will be having two electrodes, you are taking current, something will be having electrolytes here. The passing current, what happens? You will be getting cation as well as anion. Okay. The ions will be removed from the location where they are present to one electrode. The movement of ions towards the electrode, it makes the conductance. Right? Here what they are moving? Here you are not getting electrons. The movement of ions towards the electrodes is called as conductance. See, in this case it is due to the movement of electrons. This is what we will be seeing in our copper wires or aluminium wires. Okay. Right? Anything. Metals, but here in conductance, this is in terms of solution, this is in terms of wires, electricity we will be talking with respect to this one. In this one, due to the movement of the ions. So, conductance in electrolytic cells, conductance is due to ions. It is cation as well as anion. Okay? Right. What happens in this case? What will be getting? Is there any decomposition of material? No decomposition of material. No decomposition of material. Material will not be dissociated into parts. Okay, you are having copper, that electron is moving away. Okay, the copper is not getting broken down. Right? Copper is like copper only. There is no change. But in terms of here, if you take NaCl, what happens? It gets dissociated as Na plus as well as Cl minus. You are getting cation as well as the anion. It means the decomposition of the material is happening. Right? So what we can say? Decomposition of compound occurs. Okay? In this case, no decomposition of the compound. In this case, decomposition of the compound occurs because you will be getting the cation as well as the anion. So here, resistance is due to what? Is due to kernels. Kernels means what is meant by kernel? It is nothing but apart from the valence shell electrons, the nucleus with the remaining electrons in the orbitals. See, suppose if I am having like this, okay, nucleus, I am having three orbitals. What I am saying is here, apart from the last shell, apart from this shell, the entire two shells with the nucleus, this entire thing, it is called as kernel. Okay? Getting me? Apart from the valence shell, the remaining part is called as kernel. So resistance, what happens? We can say in one more way. This is one way, and one more way is generally any material or any metal is a solid in structure. What happens? Let us assume that is present copper, Copper is present like this as resistance. Like this. Suppose if electron is there here, it is moving. What happens? The next shell, suppose it is present at the center of this one, at the center of the cube. If it want to move from here to here, so it moves here. So the opposite cell, if you want to move freely, the opposite cell, it comes to the obstruction. Okay, that is called as resistance. First remember, resistance is due to the kernels. How resistance comes from kernels? Means if you increase the temperature, if temperature is increased, what happens? The vibration of the copper particles occurs. See, copper particles will be lightly arranged. Electron should move from one end to other end. See, let me take this is copper wire. Inside it is present with this pattern. So electron is present here. It should move from here to here for conduction. So if you increase the temperature, what happens? The vibration of the particles. This vibration. See, the entire wire starts to vibrate slowly in its original way. So the free movement of the electron will be obstructed, right? If you increase the temperature, the free movement of the electron will be obstructed in case of metals. So temperature increases, okay. Resistance what? Resistance increases, conductance decreases. We know that conductance is inversely proportional to resistance. Conductance means acceptance, it is moving of particles, and resistance means obstruction of particles. Getting me? In the same way, if you go this side, for electrolyte conductance, from where we are getting resistance? Resistance is due to solvent particles. Solvent particles, solute particles, solvent particles. Simply we can say the viscosity, whatever that is present between the solute particles as well as the solvent particles, the viscosity gradient that is present between the solute and solvent particles, it decides the resistance in the electrolytic conductance. What happens if you increase the temperature? If temperature is increased, the dissociation of particles, what happens? It increases in number. So more the number of ions moving towards the electrons, more is the conductivity. It's very simple. So if you increase the temperature, dissociation increases, conductance increases. So these are the basic differences between the metallic conductor as well as the electrolytic conductors. This is none of this for us. We are not going to read with respect to this one. This one all you read in terms of electricity, physics. This one we are going to read. Okay, with respect to solutions. Right? Let us say once again, people all the things whatever that are present between the metallic as well as electrolytic conductance. Metallic conductance, this means that flow is due to the electrons. Here the flow or the conductance is due to the ions. No decomposition of the material occurs in terms of metallic conductance. So whatever the material you will be taking, that will be present as it is. No getting of ions or no breaking of the material. Here, whatever the material you are taking, suppose you take HCl2, you will be getting ions. MgBr2, anything, whatever the electrolyte you take, it gets dissociated into ions. Here resistance is due to the kernels. Here resistance is due to the viscosity between the solute and the solvent particles. Right? And temperature increases, resistance increases, conductance increases due to the vibrations of the kernels. Here, temperature increases, dissociation increases, so that the conductance increases. This is what we have with respect to the electrolytic conductance. Now we shall go with respect to the general terms. General terms that are with respect to conductance. So with respect to conductance, so conductance, it is indicated with the C. It is taken as inversely, conductance is inversely proportional to the resistance. This is clear? Conductance is inversely proportional to the resistance. Unit of R unit is ohm. So what will be getting? C unit, ohm inverse. Or this is called as mho. Or this is called as Simon. All these are same. R unit is ohm, so the conductance So these two are inversely related. And resistance. Resistance, it is given with symbol R. It is nothing but R is proportional to rho L by E. This is L is length LVNGTH, and this is area of cross section, and this is called as resistivity. Okay, rho has been given or resistance has been given with the relation rho L by E. These two terms we can say in terms of metallic conductors. Okay, conductance inversely proportional to resistance. Now, if we talk with respect to the electrolytic conductors, so you will be talking with them called as here resistance is relating resistivity or specific resistance, and we know that the symbol is rho. Okay, the symbol is rho. If you subject rho, what happens? Rho is equal to, you will be getting R A by L. So this is the formula of resistivity. See, this is conductance resistance. This is resistivity or specific resistance. We will be getting here conductivity or specific conductance. And this is indicated with symbol K. So you know that conductance is inversely proportional to resistance, and here conductivity is inversely proportional to the what? Resistivity. Conductivity is inversely proportional to the resistivity. So I am giving the resistance value here. So K is equal to something like 1 by rho is equal to rho. What is the value? R A by L. And this can be written as 1 by R into L by A. Clear? 1 by R. 1 by R is nothing but C. C is equal to 1 by R. It is nothing but conductance. And L by A. L by A is called as cell constant. Cell constant can be represented in some it is represented as G or G star. So it is called as G star. So this is the relation between the conductivity, all those things. Right? So what will be the unit of this one here? Resistance. Resistivity. What is this? Ohm. Area is nothing but centimeter square by L is centimeter. So you will be getting ohm centimeter. Okay, this is the unit of what? Resistivity. Suppose if you take this one, K is equal to, if you want the unit of K is equal to 1 by rho, and you know that 1 by rho is nothing but, so 1 by ohm centimeter. So this is what? Ohm inverse centimeter inverse R. Ohm inverse, you know that here. Ohm inverse is also known as Simon. Or it is called as ohm centimeter inverse. Or this is Simon centimeter inverse. So this is represented this manner. Simon centimeter inverse. It is very simple. So Simon centimeter inverse is the unit of this one. K. The unit of K is this one. The unit of specific resistance or resistivity. See, conductance resistance. Conductivity resistivity. Okay. Conductivity resistivity. Conductance is inversely proportional to resistance. So conductivity is inversely proportional to resistivity. So L by A is called as cell constant. Getting me? And K is inversely proportional to resistivity, and resistivity relation with resistance L by A or L by RA. So 1 by R getting as conductance, L by A is called as cell constant. Cell constant is nothing but it has been represented with G star. So these are the things what we have the general terms with respect to the conductance as well as the resistance. So we shall see in clear. So take a container. Okay, we are taking electrodes getting this. You are taking the electrodes, the area of cross section. The area is equal to 1 centimeter square. Yes. And distance between the two electrodes is L. This is also L is equal to 1 centimeter. So area is this one. Length into plate is 1 centimeter square, and the distance between the two electrodes is 1 centimeter. So if you join these two, what happens? Like this. So if you draw, you will be getting sorry. So you are getting like this, you are taking this one as 1 centimeter, this one as 1 centimeter, and this one as 1 centimeter. Okay. So you are taking a cube, means it is forming a cube. This one, this entire thing is forming a cube like this. So you will be taking liquid inside, electrolyte will be present. So how much liquid do you have here? So volume is 1 centimeter into 1 centimeter into 1 centimeter, that is equal to 1 cubic centimeter, that is nothing but equal to 1 ml. So you are having 1 ml of liquid in this. Okay, you are having 1 ml of liquid. So we have know that volume, this is the volume, and K, what is K? We know that it is conductivity. Conductivity of what? Conductivity of the ions present in 1 ml of liquid. Okay, with respect to formulas it is represented, it is 1 by resistivity. Conductivity is 1 by resistivity, it is very clear. But if you want to say in terms of definition, so if you take the area of cross section as 1 centimeter square, the distance between the two electrodes is 1 centimeter distance. So you will be getting some ions in 1 ml of liquid. So it is nothing but K, it is represented as the conductance of electrolyte in 1 ml of solution. So the conductance you are getting in 1 ml of solution, it is called as conductivity. Getting me? The conductance you are getting in 1 ml of solution. Okay, the conductance you are getting in 1 ml of solution. Suppose what you want resistivity? The resistivity is nothing but the resistance getting from 1 ml of electrolyte solution is called as resistivity. So if conductance is accepted, if conductance you know, then that is called as specific conductance or conductivity. If you want to know the resistance, whatever that is offered by the 1 ml of liquid, that resistance is called as resistivity. The resistance getting by 1 ml. In this 1 ml of electrolytic solution, how much resistance you are getting? That resistance is called as resistivity. Right? So, if I say with respect to molar conductance, there is one more term called as molar conductance. This is conductivity. Okay, now I am going for molar conductivity. See, conductivity is same, conductivity is same. Molar conductivity means he is saying 1 mole of substance. 1 mole of substance. Okay. How it is defined? The indicator symbol with the reverse. Okay, in this way, like a cat has the reverse, and here if you keep M, it is called as molar conductivity. Okay, molar conductivity is nothing but the conductance obtained by the volume in which 1 mole of electrolyte, the conductance obtained by that volume in which 1 mole of electrolyte has been dissolved. Okay. See, it is very simple. Molar means 1 mole. 1 mole of substance you are taking, and you are asking to find out the conductivity. He is not mentioning volume. See, K means what? It is the conductivity by 1 ml of liquid. Conductance in 1 ml of liquid. So here there is no respect to volume. That volume is telling. What volume? He has taken 1 liter, 2 liters, or 3 liters, 4 liters, or 500 ml. He is not mentioning any volume. He is mentioning only 1 mole of electrolyte has been taken. In that volume, whatever the volume you take, in that particular volume, how much conductance you are getting by taking 1 mole of electrolyte, then that is called as molar conductivity. So generally it has been represented like molar conductivity is equal to K into K is for 1 ml. How much volume you are taking, you don't know. So it is taken as how much ml you take, that much ml. Okay. So this is ml, right? But we know that molarity is nothing but n by n into 1000 by the volume in ml. Because why you are taking ml means this one is in ml. Conductance per ml. How much volume is there? How that much ml is there? That much conductance will be getting. For 1 ml is this one. Suppose you are having 500 ml. This is per 1 ml. Into 500 if you do, you get it for 500 ml the conductance. Right? So if you subject here, and you know that n is what? N is 1 into 1000 by volume in ml. So if volume in ml is taken, volume will be 1000 by concentration of the solution. Okay. So volume here is there. So what you can take? Molar conductivity is nothing but K into 1000 by molarity of the solution. Is very clear? Okay. So molar conductivity is nothing but the conductance obtained by that volume in which 1 mole of electrolyte is present. It is given in form of 1 ml. The conductance you can know how much ml is present. Into that you will be getting the molar conductivity. Suppose if you want in terms of concentration, it will be equal to 1000 by m. K into 1000 by m. Okay, students. If you look at the units, if you look this one K, what is the K value? Units of K. K is Simon centimeter inverse. This one is molarity means moles by volume, right? So it is moles by, in terms of volume, this cubic centimeters. So what happens? If you see this, Simon centimeter inverse cubic by mole, so it will be Simon centimeter square mole inverse. So this is the unit of molar conductivity. In the same way, if you go for the equivalent conductivity, similar is equivalent. See, that is molar conductivity. Now equivalent conductivity. So equivalent conductivity, it is represented same, the reverse cap with equivalence. Eq is represented here. Same, the same thing. The conductance obtained by that volume in which 1 mole of electrolyte has been dissolved. Okay, same thing. You are instead of 1 mole, 1 gram equivalent mole you write here. So the conductance obtained by that volume in which 1 gram equivalent mole, 1 gram equivalent is nothing but equivalent mole, right, of electrolyte has been dissolved. See, same thing. Here instead of mole, you will be having 1 gram equivalent mole because you will be calculating equivalent weight. Weight by equivalent weight is nothing but it is called as gram equivalent mole. So again I am going to N is equal to weight by gram equivalent weight. It is called as equivalent mole. Weight by gram equivalent weight. Generally mole is weight by molecular weight. Here it is gram molecular weight. We will be getting molecular weight by N factor. Right? So this is the thing. So if you go for gram equivalent, so gram equivalent conductivity is nothing but K into, this is for 1 ml, volume in terms of M. So we can write N is equal to N equivalent into 1000 by volume in terms of ml. You know that N is 1 gram equivalent, 1 gram equivalent mole. So it is N is equal to 1 into 1000 by volume of solution in terms of ml. Suppose if you go for volume ml is equal to 1000 by normal of the solution. So this is the condition, this is the volume. So if you replace this one here, what happens? Gram equivalent will be equal to K into 1000 by normal of the solution. So this is the formula what we will be getting for the gram equivalent mole. Okay, 1 mole of the substance you have to dissolve in a given volume of the solution. How much conductance you are getting? It is called as equivalent conductivity. If you talk with respect to the moles, it is called as molar conductivity. Right? And if you go for the units, gram equivalent units is nothing but K, you know that Simon, centimeter inverse normal. This is same. Gram equivalent moles by cubic centimeter. So what you are getting? Simon, centimeter inverse, cubic centimeter, gram equivalent mole inverse, or equivalent mole inverse you can take. Nothing, both are the same. Okay? So it is Simon centimeter square. So equivalent mole inverse. So this is the unit of equivalent conductivity. So we have learned some terms with respect to this one equivalent conductivity. This is molar conductivity, and we will derive the relation between molar and equivalent conductivity because we know that this is the relation between molarity and normality. Okay. So this is once again I am repeating what is molar conductivity. Molar conductivity is nothing but the conductance that a solution is getting when 1 mole of the solute has been dissolved in the solvent. Okay. Here the conductance obtained by when the conductance obtained when 1 gram equivalent mole of a substance has been dissolved in given volume of the solution. So this is the value, this is the formula, and this is the way to substitute. K into V by we are getting this is per ml. Conductivity is per ml. Volume, how much volume you take, that volume you should take there. If you want to convert this volume in terms of concentration, you will get 1000 by M, here 1000 by M. This is what we have with respect to this one, and we shall try to derive the relation between the molar conductivity and equivalent conductivity. Okay, take these students. Right, I am erasing this. Some of the relation, once you try to derive the relation between the both the things, okay, you are able to do that, okay. Now I am going to explain the relation between those two things. So let us take relation Okay, so what is molar conductivity? So it is K into 1000 by molarity. Next it is K into 1000 by normality. So finally, if you cancel these two, you will get N by M. Okay. On normality means what you can write? Gram equivalent moles by volume. Here moles by volume. Volume cancel. So gram equivalent moles. Equivalent moles is what you can write? Weight by gram equivalent weight by molecular weight. So this will be cancelled. So next is molecular weight by gram equivalent weight. We know that equivalent weight. See, we know equivalent weight is equal to molecular weight by n factor. Okay. So this is the condition. So molecular weight is okay, same thing. And your gram equivalent weight. This is the gram equivalent weight. Same equivalent weight, gram equivalent weight are the same. Expressed in terms of grams. So it is molecular weight by n factor. So this will be equal to n factor. Or sometimes it is called as. So this is the relation between molar conductivity with equivalent conductivity. The ratio is like this. It is equal to n factor. Or if you want molar conductivity, it is nothing but required conductors of equivalent conductivity into n factor. So this is the relation. Okay. So the relation between the molar conductivity as well as the equivalent conductivity. Okay, students, what are the things that we have learned till now? It is conductance inversely proportional to resistance proportional to rho L by A, and conductivity. It is nothing but 1 by rho. Okay, 1 by rho. This is proportional to L by RA. So proportional to conductance into cell constant. So these are the things what we have learned. And conductivity, it is nothing but next we have learned something like molar conductivity. So it is K into volume in terms of ml. So molar conductivity is also called as K into 1000 by molarity of the solution. So equivalent conductivity is equal to K into volume of the solution in terms of ml. So equivalent conductivity is equal to K into 1000 by normality of the solution. So these are the things what we have learned till now. Okay. From this area only you will be getting the questions. Only these are the formulas what we have. Based on this you will be having the questions. Let us take some questions. Once again you will all these things. Let us have some questions here with respect to this chapter, so that the remaining half will be completed, right? Okay, students, the fourth question. For a 0.1 normal solution, he has mentioned 0.1 normal resistance of the electrolyte. So, see, I am taking the information here. Concentration is nothing but 0.1 normal. This is concentration. Resistance is, so R is nothing but 3.2 ohm. The distance between the electrodes is, here he is mentioning, it is 1.8 centimeters, and area of electrodes, so area is 5.4 centimeters square. Okay, calculate the cell constant. So first one, cell constant means L by A. What is L? 1.8 by area 5.4 centimeter square. So this is what? 1 by 3 centimeter inverse. So this is the cell constant value. Going for the second one, specific conductance. Specific conductance means K. K is nothing but what? 1 by rho. 1 by rho is nothing but L R by A. Another 1 by R into L by A. Okay, is nothing but C into L by A. See, L by A value I have, so it is 1 by 3. What is C value? C is nothing but 1 by R. You know the value of R. So it is 1 by 3 point. So it is 1 by 9.6 Simon centimeters. is the value of the specific conductance, and he is asking the equivalent conductivity. So third one, equivalent conductivity. So equivalent conductivity is nothing but K equivalent into 1000 by concentration of the solution. Equivalent means normality should have. So what is K equivalent? K equivalent you have already 1 by 9.6 into 1000 by what is the normality? Normality is 0.2. Right? If you saw that, you will be getting approximately 104.1.66. So it is Simon centimeters per equivalent. So this is what, or this is the way how you can solve the problems with respect to the electrolytic conductance. Right? Next, we will be dealing with respect to the factors. What are the factors that are going to affect the equivalent conductivity? Okay, once you check the answer, I hope that you are getting how to do this thing. Look over this. Okay, I hope that you have got a clear idea with respect to this one. Now, derivation of conductance, comma, conductivity, variations of conductance, conductivity, comma, lambda m or lambda e. This is molar conductance or molar conductivity with concentration and dilution. How the conductance is affected with concentration? How the conductance is affected with dilution? Okay. First one, we shall take if it is strong electrolyte. We are talking with respect to conductance. So conductance, we can talk with respect to strong electrolyte and the other one with respect to weak electrolyte. Okay. What we are doing here? Strong electrolyte. With respect to dilution, strong electrolyte we are having. What is the meaning of strong electrolyte? Any electrolyte which dissociates 100%. 100% dissociation is possible. That is called as strong electrolyte, where the alpha value will be approximately equal to 1. Strong electrolyte, suppose if you take NaCl and if you add to water, if you take 100 molecules of NaCl and if you add to water, you will be getting 100 Na plus 100 Cl minus. Means entire dissociation, how many molecules you are taking, that many molecules are getting dissociated. Getting me? The total number of molecules where the alpha value or degree of dissociation is very high, then that value is called as, that one is called as strong electrolyte. What is mean by weak electrolyte? Electrolyte which dissociates maximum to how much percentage? 0.05%. So approximately here the value is 0.05%. This is the maximum value for weak electrolyte. Means no complete dissociation will happen there. Okay? No complete dissociation among the what? 10,000 molecules, only 5 will be dissociated. If you take 10,000 molecules of acetic acid, only 5 molecules will dissociate as CH3COO minus plus H plus. But here, if you take 100 molecules, 100 will be dissociated. 10,000 if you take 10,000 will be dissociated. The maximum value approximately will be 1. So you will be getting maximum number of ions here. So what happens if you dilute this one? See, initial it is concentrated. So let me take 100 particles are there. Let me take 10,000 okay particles. Okay, what happens if I add water? Means diluted. Diluted means if diluted increases, what happens? Number of ions increases. Strong electrolyte, solute, it is concentrated. If you add water to that, what happens? Number of ions will be getting more. More the number of ions, conductance will be more. But let us assume that initially you have added only 100 ml water. Okay? Conductance increased. Now what I am doing here, I am assuming that these are NaCl particles. You are taking 10,000 NaCl particles, okay, which is strong electrolyte. If you add 100 ml to that, what happens? The number of ions will be increased. In NaCl, it doesn't have anything. If you add water, you will be getting NaCl minus. If you are getting ions, it has formed solution. And conductance, what happens? You are having ions, so the conductance will be increased. So if I go in this case, it is diluted condition. So I am taking acetic acid molecules. I am taking 10,000 particles in. Okay. Now this is concentrated water. Now what I am doing is I am adding 100 ml water to this. 100 ml it is diluted. What happens? Number of ions increases. Okay. So conductance increases. It is very clear. What is the difference between these two? Nothing. Okay. You are getting some value. Let me take from here. You are getting the value conductance. See, for strong electrolyte, we have diluted, the number of ions increases, so the conductance increases. So I am getting the current as something like 100 amperes. Something like you are getting as 200 amperes current ampere. Not correct? Correct. Let us assume that like that. You are getting some value of 200 amperes. Here I am getting something like 5 amperes. Okay. Now I have some more diluted. This one is 100 ml. For this I am adding some one more 100 ml. Means 5 ml has become 200 ml. So what happens? Number of ions increase, conductance increase. Finally I am getting 400 amperes current. This 100 ml I am adding still more 100 ml. So that it has become 200 ml, dilution increased. So that number of ions increase, conductivity is increased. Here same process, 200 ml. Ions increase, conductivity increase, something 10 amperes I am getting. Here I am getting 400 amperes. Now still I have diluted this one by adding 100, something like 300 ml. Diluted conductance, number of ions, it has not increased. Conductance, it has remained constant. So 400 amperes only. So number of ions not increased. So if you make it as 400 or 500, okay, or something like 1000, it is constant. But here, if you go for 300, it is something like 30, 400, 40, something like 500, it is something like 55. See, if you are going on increasing continuously, here the conductivity is going on continuously increasing. But for strong electrolyte, we have increased first. It has got some value, it has increased. From 200 to 400, it is increased. So again, we have added, it has remained constant. Suppose if we have added again, it is remained constant. If we have added water again, it has remained constant. So simply we can conclude the strong electrolyte dissociation will become constant at particular dilution. For strong electrolyte, the conductance will be constant. Okay? See, I am writing for strong electrolyte. So, for strong electrolyte, the conductance remains constant at particular dilution. At particular dilution. See, for strong electrolyte, if you are going on adding water at one point, it becomes the constant value. After that, if you have add water, then also the conductance will not increase. Okay? Because there is no dissociation of ions. Why there is no dissociation of ions? Means already to the maximum extent they have been dissociated. Okay? Then you will be getting question. Then at 100 ml only they have been completely dissociated, sir. Then after adding 100 ml, it has increased from 200 to 400. Why that is happening? Means here it is conductance increases not due to increase in number of ions but due to decrease in attraction between solute solute solvent particles. This is the reason. See, once again I am recalling this one. What I have said is, for strong electrolyte, suppose first I have taken NaCl at 100 ml. So 100 ml solution. How many particles I have? 10,000 particles I have. How many particles I am getting? I am getting 10,000 particles. 10,000 ml plus 10,000 Cl. At 100 ml. If I go for 200 ml, number of ions how many I have? I am having the same. The same number of particles is I am having. But here the current conduction is 200 amperes. But here the current conduction is 100 amperes. See, sir, at 100 ml you are having 10,000 ml plus 10,000 Cl minus. At 200 ml you are having the same number of ions, but the current has been increased. Why it is increasing? Why it is increasing means it is not due to the increase in number of ions. The ions are not getting increased. It is only the attractions between. See, you are having solid particles, right? You will be having Na particles and Cl particles very close. If you add water, these are very close now. They have dissociated. They are very close. If you add water now, what happens? They will move still more apart. If they are very close like this, there will be attraction between these two. Okay? As well as attraction between water. This one and this one. See, not only increase in number of ions. If you are adding water, the distance between the cation and anion is increasing. Okay? And the attraction between the water also are being decreased. Distance is increasing, attractions are decreasing by adding extra amount of water. So that the ions can flow very easily. We will be thinking that as we are getting more current, more number of ions is present. No. In strong electrolyte, what is meant by strong electrolyte? The one which gets alcohol very easily dissociated, it gets very easily dissociated. So what I mean to mean is, for strong electrolyte, as dilution increases, conductance increases. The conductance increases due to decrease in the attraction between the cation and the anion and between the solid particles attractions. So solid particle attractions. Okay, not due to the increase in the number of ions. But if you go over here, for weak electrolyte, complete dissociation of weak electrolyte is 100% impossible. So if you go on adding water, the conductance goes on increasing. If you go on adding water, it goes on completely increasing. Will it attain the standard value? No, definitely it will not get the standard value. So for weak electrolyte, complete dissociation conductance, complete dissociation conductance value is not obtained. So it gets infinite dilution. So infinite, to get the maximum value, you should dilute it infinitely. So if you take a tablespoon, you require something up to 5 to 3 times of. If you take some 1 ml of acetic acid, you should take some 5 to 10 times of water to get completely dissociated. So at infinite dilution, you can get the value, but basically acetic acid will not dissociate at all, right? Even if it is volume. So one condition to remember here, for strong electrolyte, as the dilution increases, conduction increases due to the decrease in the attraction between the solvent particles, but not due to the increase in the number of ions. But if you go for the weak electrolyte, if you increase the dilution, the conductivity increases due to the increase in the number of ions. For weak electrolyte, it is correct. For strong electrolyte, it is not correct. Okay, here if you add water, dissociation increases, so conductance increases. This is what the effect of dilution on conductance, right? And the next factor is conductivity. Next factor is conductivity. Conductivity is nothing but it is represented with K. What? Conductance by 1 ml. Right? Conductance by 1 ml of conductance in 1 ml of solution. Conductance in 1 ml of the solution. Okay? Are you getting me? Correct. What happens? If I take strong electrolyte, and weak electrolyte. Initially, if I take this container, this is having 1 ml water. In 1 ml, I am having 60 particles. The same condition here also. Weak electrolyte. 100 ml solution I am taking. In 1 ml, 60 particles are there. Okay. Now I am diluting both the conditions. Now I am diluting. Dilution. What happens? What happens to K value? K value will decrease. K value will decrease. Why? The number of you will be getting. So if you add water, number of ions will increase. So that what happens? Okay. The number of if you increase water, the number of ions will be increased. So that conductance will increase. But what is meant by conductivity? Conductivity is conductance you are getting by a solid or solute particles present in 1 ml. In 1 ml of liquid, how many solute particles are there? By that, how much conductance you are getting? That is called as conductivity. Already we have learned conductance due to 1 ml of the liquid. So what happens this one? So K value you are having by 1 ml 60 particles are there. Now if you dilute, the number of particles per 1 ml have been decreased to 30 particles. Okay. On dilution, you are getting per 1 ml 30 particles. So what happens with K value? K value is the number of ions that are conducting in 1 ml of liquid. In 1 ml of liquid, the number of particles have been decreased. So that what happens with K value? K value will decrease. Okay. Don't take that condition, conductance here. Or you can take after getting saturated. If strong electrolyte, if you are adding water, it gets completely dissociated. If you still add water, what happens? The number of particles per ml will be decreased. Conductivity will be decreased. Conductance will be increased. Right? So this is what we will be having. And next going for